Hello and welcome to another review. This time we're looking at something slightly different. Conductive magnetic couplers made by French company REE for HO scale models. The principles of operation, as you can see, are extremely simple, which I actually like very much. Two strong magnets on both couplers, orientation pins on both sides, and the magnets are acting, of course, as conductive couplers. And yeah, they like to stay together. This is the side view, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of flex to accommodate for any uneven track or changes of elevation. Even if they do disconnect, they right away are trying to pull right back together. That's actually very effective. The shafts are, of course, the standard NEM European short coupling mechanism. Well, and of course the wiring, that's just 2-pole, and I wonder how reliable that connection is. Oops. Before we go into the testing, I wanted to mention one more very unique feature of this product. These couplers are available in 0.3 millimeters length increments, offering unique opportunity to customize the coupling length or the distance between new models. The XB941 coupler in this review is the standard coupler as defined by European short coupling norms. You can also purchase 0.3 millimeters shorter version and two longer versions than standard, 0.3 and 0.6 millimeters longer. So let's see if we can install one. Okay, done. And then the wires will have to be run separately. I'll deal with this later on. So the other side. It seems to be a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do is just done. Okay, and just for demonstration, alright, so let's take a second car. And here it is once again from the bottom. And of course, as expected, coupling the cars is absolutely not an issue. All you need to do is just get them close together. Here you go. Uncoupling is a little bit counterintuitive because you don't have to lift the cars or twist them. All you need to do is just spread them apart. And so, very nice and close coupling. I have 6 cars and a locomotive fitted with these magnetic couplers, and the installation was no different than installing any other close coupling. The locomotive is Roco made class 460, equipped with lock sound decoder V4, and I hardwired the locomotive coupler directly to the decoder. You can see the wires going in there. Output 2. So the idea is to provide a power supply to the train directly from the decoder with a dedicated output. 5 of the 6 cars were wired just to pass the current through from one end to another. And there's no lights inside the cars. This is just quick wiring to test the effectiveness of these couplers. And this is of course the last car in a consist, with one coupler here and strip of LEDs attached to it. And the whole idea is to, of course, to pass the current from the locomotive through 5 cars and see how consistent the light at the end of the train will be. We'll start with just the locomotive and the last car, make sure that the connection is there, and then once successful, I'm going to add the cars in between them and see how well the whole electrical connection is performing. So here we go. And yep, the lights is on, we can test it, and this is operated from the locomotive, of course. Very nice and stable, running about 50% of throttle. And about 90% of throttle. This time we're going to go through some switches. No issue. Very nice and stable. 3 more cars. Here's the last one. And we're going to trigger light. Yep, it's working. And again, this is going all the way from the locomotive. Oh, losing connection. So it looks like every time the train is turning, there's an interruption in power supply. And it seems to be consistent on curves. Okay, so let's run a test on incline. 2% grade and about 1300 millimeters radius. And then we're going to go to much tighter curves, about 650, 700 millimeters, where actually these cars don't belong. But let's stress them out a little bit and see what's going to happen with the couplers. 2% incline, 1300 millimeters curve, the first one. Well, the couplers are holding just fine, even on the tight curves. There's some issues with electrical conductivity on some of the tight curves, but mechanically they are just fine. And 4 additional cars, so 10 cars altogether, and the couplers are holding. I added 4 more city nightlight cars right here. Here's 15 cars consist. First 6 cars with magnetic couplers, the 9 cars at the back are with standard Fleischmann. That's about 50% throttle. Let's go a little bit faster. Mechanically no issue, but definitely a lot of power losses here. I'm actually quite impressed with the strength of those magnetic couplers. So let's go through some sightings a little bit faster now. No problem mechanically, but the conductivity between the first 6 cars is pretty much gone. Okay, so let's go up in an incline, 2% incline, 1300 millimeters radius, 15 cars. First 6 cars are with magnetic couplers. So that's exactly where the first magnetic coupler disconnected, right behind the locomotive, and that's the peak of the incline. But again, still very impressive. 15 cars, 2% incline on 1300 millimeters radius. That's a lot of weight. That's very heavy terrain. So here's my personal conclusion. I really like the overall simplicity of this design and principles of operation of this product. I also like the fact that you can buy these couplers in 4 small length increments and fully customize the length between, or the distance between 2 models. Will I ever use it? Probably not, but I know it's available. As conductive couplers, they simply fail to deliver reliable electrical connection between the cars, at least in my case. Therefore, I simply won't use them as electrical connectors. As an alternative to traditional mechanical short couplers, they seem to be representing a very interesting option. However, not without limitations. They work really well for short to medium length passenger trains, and personally on my layout I wouldn't use them for trains longer than 8, maybe 10 full-length cars. From cost perspective, the magnetic couplers are almost twice as expensive as Fleischmann short couplers. Thank you very much and happy model railroading.